Hello, so I want to provide a little bit of post commentary for this run. Now this is an easy default v3 speedrun. And if you don't know what that means, that is default rules. So a standard game of Monopoly versus 3 CPUs on easy difficulty. And so when we're going for here, we have one main goal, and that's to get as a full property set as quickly as possible. Because in Monopoly DS, you can only put hotels and houses down on full sets of property. And so I'm looking here, and you can already see 2 pink properties, which is huge, right? Because I have a world record is 8 minutes and 4 seconds, and I have a session PB which became our current PB of 10:16. And so I'm thinking like, this is great, you know. Even if I don't get this lap around, I'll definitely get it on the next one, and that's still world record pace. However, it actually turned into a misplay, and accounting for all the misplays, we could potentially see a sub 4-minute run, not with this seed, but more like a different seed. But we can see, but this one could have gone down to below 430, and as you can see, kind of an idiot. However, it does work out for the better eventually. So it wasn't like a complete loss, but it does show where my head was at the time. And so we're gonna max out orange. We're just gonna pay 200 for that. Now we had to pay slightly more for dog's property, not because I wanted to, but because it was a higher end property. And what that means is that it's valued slightly higher because it has higher rent, and it costs ever so slightly more. And so because dog already had a piece of pink property, he is willing to pay more for pink property, which is why I put $300, which it only works when they have 2 out of the 3, so it was invalid. Which is why I had to go down to 240. And now here we have the bigger misplay. Is you see those houses? Well, that's a misplay, because the idea is that both Top Hat and Dog were in a spot where if we got really good rolls, they can land on that, and it wouldn't kill them, but it would do so much damage to their bank accounts. However, because it didn't happen, and because it's so unlikely, I should have played this slightly better and waited, because I now have to auction, right? And if you don't know why auctioning's bad, this turn is almost 35 seconds, I believe, which could have been around an 18-second turn had I done a different strategy of not buying the houses and then instead buying the property and then trading yellow to Top Hat, because he already had a yellow piece, so he would buy it for around 400 plus, and selling Boardwalk to either Iron or Dog, because Boardwalk can go for up to $650, which is mental. That is a high amount. And so, and it's not like the world's worst misplay in the world, it's just a bad one. And so Iron rolls, and now here's the important roll. Dog rolls a 3, which is like, okay, that's kind of whatever, you know. Top Hat rolls still 7, and so what really matters here is the fact that we're all grouped into one corner, and we're in the most favorable corner possible, dark or bottom left, because a 7 is the most common roll of the game, and then 8 and 6 follow after it. And so Dog goes past it, which is like, okay, whatever, you know. But I'm still playing for world record, which is 804. Like, I'm not thinking sub 5, I'm thinking sub 7. So having Dog go past it, I'm like, that hurts. But you know, it could be better, but it's still world record pace. And when a CPU dies, all its property goes to the person it went bankrupt to, which is me in this case. So I get Boardwalk and Park Place. And now Dog lands a 9, and he goes to jail, which is huge. Like when I was talking about, like, when them being bunched, it's perfect for jail because you're forced into that spot for 3 whole turns, right? But because Dog rolls a double here, he actually gets out first turn, but he lives with $19. And this $19 is just, that's a very low amount. He has nothing left. And here's the second misplay. I meant to click $31, but I just barely missed the 3. And so I had to wait a little bit. So I'm going to put 3 houses down on both Boardwalk and Park Place. You know, I'd preferably just put them all on Boardwalk, but you can't really do that because you have to do both. And so Dog, he gets a 6, right? So not good. But then that happens and he goes bankrupt there. So if Top Hat rolls a 3, or not a 3, a 6 or an 8, I get a world record and a sub 5. And he rolls an 8, I pause my timer early because I'm just that excited, and I clutch out the world record. And if you like this video, you can subscribe.